Hey guys, me Seren, back with another car video. I'm sure you guys knew I was gonna make this video. The Grammys were last night, Sunday night. It's Monday, right? Yeah. I didn't watch the Grammys because I'm skipping award show season this year. I have a video on that, on how I'm skipping award show season. But I'm probably gonna catch the highlights. So I'm probably gonna watch Beyonce's performance. Solange didn't perform, did she? Let me know in the comments. But I'm probably gonna watch Beyonce's performance and the Prince tribute. And that's probably it. That's probably all I'm gonna catch online. Solange's performance, if she performed. If you guys think there's like some other performances that I should check out, like again, let me know in the comments and I'll check them out. But I didn't watch the Grammys. I haven't watched the Grammys. I did a video on the Grammys 2 years ago, and that was the last Grammy Awards that I watched. And that was the year that they nominated fucking Australian Voldemort, aka Amethyst Kelly, aka Outback Jane, aka She Who Must Not Be Named. We don't even talk about her anymore. That was the year they nominated her for like all these like rap Grammys, and she didn't win shit. That was the last year that I covered the Grammys, because the year before that, so that was like 2014, I think, or 15. The year before, no, yeah, 15. So the year before that, 2014, they had introduced this new genre, urban contemporary. So in that Grammy video, I talk about this genre. I've also talked a little bit about it in my Rosetta Tharpe video, and there's going to be links. So there's going to be links to a ton of these videos on music and stuff in the description box. And also if you click on the eye in the right hand corner, you'll find the videos there too. But I know some of you guys like don't like that, having to click on the eye. So I'm going to make sure I also put these videos in the description box, because I go like really in depth in a bunch of these videos on how I feel. So, but yeah, so 2014, I want to say that year, they introduced this new category at the Grammys called urban contemporary. And that year they put Beyonce's self-titled album, which came out in like December of 2013. They put Beyonce's self-titled album in there. And I think they put like a Chris Brown album in there. They've put like Rihanna's albums in there. Since then, I think they put like Frank Ocean's album in there. So basically urban contemporary, which number one, which I keep saying, what is urban contemporary as a genre? Like, how would you describe that? Urban contemporary, right? That's mostly, and they put artists from like all different genres, all the black artists they put in this urban contemporary category. And so that kind of like leaves a lot of these other, genres open for the white artists to like pick up all these awards, right? And then they kind of just like, they throw the black artist a bone with this urban, you can have this urban contemporary, like Grammy, whatever. So I remember like when I did that video on the Grammys, I was like, like this is like not fair that like y'all put Beyonce's self-titled album like in this category. And they did it again this year. She won the urban contemporary Grammy for Lemonade. She didn't win album of the year. She didn't win record of the year. She won this like urban contemporary like award. And I feel like that is, like I said, like that is their like solution to like not having to give these artists, these black artists, any of these like big awards. They put you in the R&B section, which half the time now they're not even trying to put you in the R&B section, but they put you in the R&B section. And I think Solange won her Grammy that she got nominated for best R&B performance for Cranes in the Sky. I think she won that. But like they say, we won't give you this album of the year. We won't give you record of the year. We won't give you song of the year. But we'll like throw you a bone with this like urban contemporary Grammy. It's like, what even is this genre? So, and I said, and I don't know if I said this, I feel like I said this in one of my videos. I'm not sure which one, but I feel like I have said it. But I know I've said it on Twitter before, that when people were talking about like, how Lemonade is gonna like win all the awards at the Grammys, I remember I said like, Adele released an album like this year, so this was like last year, 2016, and I remember saying like on Twitter, like, Adele released an album this year, like it would be nice if Beyonce won, but every single like time that Adele releases an album, they throw the awards at her, like they give her all the awards. She's like the music version of Jennifer Lawrence. Like, Jennifer Lawrence can cough in a movie. That could be like the entirety of her lines is and they're gonna nominate her for a Best Actress Academy Award because they just like throw awards at that girl. And it's like the same thing with Adele. And that's not to say that like Adele is not talented, and that's not to say that like Jennifer Lawrence is not talented, but it's like they throw these awards. Taylor Swift, even though I don't think Taylor Swift really has any talent, Taylor Swift can write a song, but she cannot sing. She cannot sing. But like, they throw these awards at these people. They throw these awards at these white girls, and they throw these awards at these white artists. Meanwhile, you have an artist like Beyonce, who's like literally been like in this game for like 20 years at this point, like from Destiny's Child up to now. I think like what year did her solo album come out? 2003, and we were like now in 2017, and like Beyonce still has not won an Album of the Year Grammy, and Taylor Swift has 2, and I think Adele at this point also has 2. Like Beyonce's work is not valued. Like, and I will also say that I think that, like I've said before, kind of in that, like I could say we're at a certain point in Beyonce's career. I could say like in the middle of her career, Beyonce was making a lot of forgettable music, in my opinion. It was a lot of like commercial, it was like just a lot of commercial pop. But with that being said, that is exactly the same type of music that Taylor Swift makes. This like commercial, feminist, I am woman, you know, hear me roar type of music. And Taylor Swift has 2 Album of the Year Grammys and Beyonce has none. So, you know, like, that's not to say that like literally everything Beyonce drops is like earth-shattering like music or anything like that. Like I said in my Lemonade review, I do think that like I loved her first 2 solo albums, and then the couple in the middle I thought were not very good. But again, just because they were commercial pop doesn't mean that they didn't deserve to win, because they give all these awards to Taylor Swift for her boring ass pop music. But Self-Titled really like changed the pop culture landscape, and so did Lemonade. And I will also say that I think Lemonade was better than 25. And I did actually listen to 25 because my mom likes Adele. So, and I will say that I think that Lemonade was better. So yeah, but I wanted to talk about, like, I have a video on how I don't like Adele, and this is exactly why I don't like her. And like, this is exactly what I'm talking about in this video. I'm sure Adele is a perfectly nice lady. I'm not trying to say she's like a bad person or anything like that. I'm sure she's like a perfectly nice lady. From all the interviews that I've seen, she certainly seems like a sweet woman, you know, funny and all that jazz. She's definitely talented. She has talent. However, I would not say that Adele is more talented than Beyonce. I would not say that Adele is more talented than Jasmine Sullivan. You know, I wouldn't say that. Even if you say like, oh, Adele writes her own song, all her own songs, which, okay. And like, oh, Beyonce doesn't. Okay, well, but like Jasmine Sullivan like writes her own songs, and Jasmine Sullivan can like blow. And Jasmine Sullivan keeps on dropping albums that like nobody cares about, and that they don't even get like a tenth of the promotion of like an Adele album. Because that's also something that people always say is like, oh, well, where are the black people like making the good R&B music? Or, you know, like, no, there's a lot of black people that are like trying to like make great music in our genres that we created, and they keep getting shut out. Like Dawn Richards is another example that I often bring up, because she's making really, really great, interesting music. She has this like really avant-garde like sound and look, and you know, she's kind of like in like a Lady Gaga's kind of lane, but like she is not getting invited to perform at the Super Bowl. You know, like there are lots of black artists out there that are putting in the work, and that are, you know, putting out great music, but because they're black in these quote-unquote black genres, it is like expected. It doesn't have this like shock value of like, oh, look at this like white mammy figure, Adele. Look at this like, you know, this Aretha Franklin and white skin. Like, ooh, it's so exciting and different and new. And they just like throw all the awards at her because, again, she's kind of like what I said in my last Grammy video on fucking Amethyst Kelly. You know, similar to what I've said about Miley Cyrus. You know, this is like a prime example of like, you love black culture, but you prefer it from a non-black body. You know, you love, you know, Aretha Franklin, and now you have this like white Aretha Franklin that you can like listen to without any, because like just being black is a political statement, like, which I've thought about a lot, but like just being black, just being born into this black body is a fucking political statement. And especially like in these times that we're living in right now, just being seen, you know, is political, because, you know, as a black person, you go places and you wonder like, oh, was this person a Donald Trump voter, and you know, is this person this and is this person that? And similarly to that, again, in this current climate, I'm sure you have white people that enter into these spaces and they see black people and they, oh, I wonder if this black person is thinking I'm a racist. If it's me, if you run into me out in public, white person, yeah, I'm thinking you're a racist. You don't even have to wonder. You don't even have to worry about it. Yes, I am. But it's just like, you know, they don't want to have to deal with these, especially these like white Grammy voters. They don't want to have to deal with the politicized nature of Beyonce's work, of her black body, of her black woman's body. You know, now she's pregnant, so of her black motherhood. All this shit is politicized. Like just her existing in the body that she's in this moment in time is politicized. So it's like, I don't want to have, and now you have Beyonce that she's been taking the extra steps over the past few years to kind of deliberately politicize her work, and that makes these white people uncomfortable. I'm gonna go through my Twitter and I'm gonna like look for these tweets, because I know I've like said all this shit in tweets before about Beyonce's work and about how Adele also had an album come out this year and how I thought that was gonna be, you know, tough for Beyonce to go up against, because again, just you know, your black face and your black body is political. So it's like, why should I vote for this person whose work makes me uncomfortable when I can vote for this white face, be it, you know, Adele, or this non-black person of color, Bruno Mars, because y'all know I don't fuck with Bruno Mars, and I'm gonna get to his ass in a minute. Like, why should I vote for this black body, this black woman's body, this radical black woman's body, this politicized work? Like, the work has been politicized for a year now, because Lemonade came out last year. Formation dropped in 2016. So it's like, why should I vote for this politicized body of work that makes me feel uncomfortable when I could vote for this safe, you know, nice, funny white woman that is going to give me, you know, what I like to hear in terms of black culture, in terms of this black genre? You know, she's going to give me what I want to hear, but she's going to give it to me from the safety of this white face. She's going to give it to me from the safety of this non-black, non-politicized point of view. Why would I vote for Beyonce? Like, why would they vote for Beyonce? And I also said they're not going to reward Beyonce for this overtly political album. I was like, they're not going to do it. I would have been so surprised, especially, again, considering she was going up against Adele, who they literally throw all the awards at anyway. Like, I was like, I would be so surprised. And they did not surprise me. I know the whites. Like Dave Chappelle, like, they're so predictable. They behave in like wholly predictable ways to me, because there's like a white people handbook. Like, they love black culture, but they hate black bodies. So anywhere they can reward a non-black person kind of putting on this caricature of blackness and excelling at this black music without being black, they're gonna do it. Which brings me to Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is a non-black person of color. I did a whole video on Bruno Mars where I brought out the motherfucking Carfax on that ass. And he himself recently, I want to say it was last month, this to all the Bruno stans that was getting hot in my comment section, talk about some Bruno is black. No. Bruno Mars is not black. He recently did he was on the cover of like Latino magazine, and he did an interview where he's talking about, you know, like, I recognize that as a non-black person, I'm standing on the shoulders like of black music, like funk, R&B, doo-wop, rock and roll, you know, all these genres is black music. He was like, even, you know, like, I'm Puerto Rican. And he considers himself to be a non-black Latinx. He's like, you know, I'm Puerto Rican. Even like Puerto Rican salsa music, you know, has been influenced by like black people and like African culture. And of course there are black, you know, Puerto Ricans. And of course we can get into the diaspora and all that stuff. But like, this is someone that is a non-black POC. He is part Ashkenazi Jew. He is part, which is, he's a white Jew. He's part Filipino, and he is part Puerto Rican, non-black Latinx. He's a non-black person of color. He is not black. And again, he gave the interview saying, you know, like, as a non-black person, I recognize that, you know, my all these accolades and all these awards, and, you know, I'm standing on the pillars of black music. And I was like, now look at this. Mad people was like sending me the link to the article, like, oh, like, you were right, Bruno's not black, he doesn't even identify as black. I'm like, no, he's not black. And it's like, he doesn't have to be black. Like, it's fine that he's not black. Like, there's nothing wrong with being like a non-black POC. But again, we're talking about, now here is somebody. Now, what I don't like about Bruno Mars is I genuinely feel like Bruno Mars is putting on a caricature of blackness, especially recently with the chains and the hat and like the brightly patterned button-ups. Every time I see him, I feel like he's putting on his best Trinidad James impersonation. Like, he sampled Trinidad James for he sampled that "Don't Believe Me, Just Watch" Uptown Funk. That's the name of the song. He sampled Trinidad James for Uptown Funk, and that's something also that I mentioned in my Bruno Mars video. Bruno Mars can put "Don't Believe Me, Just Watch" in a song, and they play it in a coffee shop. And those white ladies, ooh, I love Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. But like Trinidad James says, "Don't believe me, just watch, nigga, nigga, nigga." That is not getting played in the coffee shop. Like, Bruno Mars walks around in a fucking patterned silk Versace shirt, like he's fucking Biggie Smalls or something, and all these gold chains and these caps and shit. And it's like, oh, like Bruno Mars is like fun and funky and he's killing it. You know, Trinidad James walks around with fucking all this gold jewelry on and this fucking perm and these golds in his mouth and these pinky rings, and Trinidad James is like a tacky nigga from Atlanta. You know, like there's a double standard because Bruno Mars is not black. He's a non-black POC. So again, we're talking about these people: Adele, Bruno Mars, Miley Cyrus, Amethyst Kelly, you know, these people that serve as, just like I've said before, conduits into black culture without, you know, the scary, you know, radicalization of actually existing in a black body. And that's why you continue to see these people get rewarded over and over, and they're going to continue to be rewarded because that is what the mainstream consumer culture wants. They love black culture. They hate black bodies. They want to get this black culture from a safe, you know, non-black body. They would prefer a white person like Adele, but they'll settle for a nice non-black POC like Bruno Mars. Like, you know, they'll settle for some K-pop, you know, like they'll settle for some Zayn, you know, like that is what they want. I heard a Zayn song the other day on the radio that I swear I thought was Chris Brown. I know y'all know that song. I don't know what it's called, but it's like, it's a paradise and it's a war zone. Yo, I swear I thought it was Chris Brown. I swear to you, I thought it was Chris Brown. At the end, the lady on the radio was like, and that's Zayn. I was like, Zayn? Like, and then it's funny because Zayn has also like gotten into it for anti-black racism and also for fucking defending the racism of his fucking white girlfriend Gigi Hadid. And the first thing he says is like, oh, I'm Asian, so I can't be racist. No. I have a video on that too. Just because you're a POC doesn't mean you can't be fucking racist against black people. Don't get it twisted. And it's like, these people are safe. They're safe. They have, a lot of them also have proximity to whiteness. They have a certain look. They have a certain appearance. Maybe it's that they're lighter skin. Maybe it's that, you know, they have straight hair. You know, they are not politicized and radicalized just by the very nature of being black in the current times that we live in. And then again, you have artists like Beyonce with Lemonade and Solange with The Seat at the Table and Q-Tip with The Renaissance and D'Angelo with Black Messiah that are making overly political works. They're not going to be rewarded by that shit by the fucking Grammys, by the white mainstream, because that shit makes those Grammy voters uncomfortable. They probably didn't even listen to Lemonade all the way through start to finish. They probably didn't even watch it because it probably made them uncomfortable. Yet again, why would I watch this and vote for this when I can fucking sit through Adele's nice album and I can get that same, you know, warm, fuzzy Aretha Franklin feeling coming from this white face that I feel comfortable with also as a white person? Like, you know, like it only makes sense. Why would I vote for a Trinidad James Or why would I want a Trinidad James on my fucking screen when I could put a Bruno Mars on my screen that is not politicized because it is not a black body, you know? And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. The Grammys are racist. And this has happened to Beyonce multiple times now. And not just at the Grammys, the fucking infamous VMAs when Taylor Swift won over fucking Beyonce. Do any of us know what Taylor Swift even won for? Could any of us even recall that video? No. But do we all know Single Ladies? Can we all recall that video? Yes. They gave Taylor Swift that award, and Kanye West in his last, you know, act of legitimacy jumped on that stage and said, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time, which was true. When Beck won over fucking her self-titled album, not to say that Beck's album wasn't good or anything like that, and not to say that it's not amazing that he wrote and recorded and played all the instruments and arranged the whole thing and produced it all, you know, like that's great, that's awesome. But that self-titled album, you know, I didn't care for it, but it was really, really, really well reviewed, and it literally changed the pop culture landscape, like dropping the album out of nowhere with these visuals. You know, that's like a thing now. Lemonade, pop culture phenomenon, excellently reviewed, like really, really, really well produced, great songs, great material, great visuals. Like that was an album that set the entire tone for 2016, and they didn't give her album of the year. They gave it to Adele, who dropped another album just like, ooh, y'all can't even see me, who dropped another album just like every other album, her other 3 albums that she has dropped. It had that, whatever this like number theme is, and you know, all her albums sound the same. All her music sounds the same. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing exciting about it. This is just a white girl that can sing, that again serves as this conduit into this, you know, black, I would say R&B tinged gospel culture. Why do I need to look at a dark-skinned black woman, you know, Jasmine Sullivan, who has a politicized body just by being a black woman, when I could just throw my awards and my money at Adele? It's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. So, you know, that's just how I feel about the Grammys. My feelings have not changed. I've been saying the same thing for years. That urban contemporary genre is a racist category. Similar to what I said in my sister Rosetta Tharpe video, you know, it is a shadow of the race records, you know, billboards chart, you know, where this is where we put the black artists, so we don't have to put them in with the white artists that we feel are the real artists, the legitimate artists, because that's the word that's been going around a lot recently, right? Like legitimate versus illegitimate. Like, this is where we're gonna put the real artists, and we're gonna put the black artists in this urban contemporary genre. That is a racist fucking genre. Beyonce's never gonna win album of the year as long as they have that genre. They're gonna keep, that's twice now that they've given her urban contemporary album of the year instead of like album of the year or whatever. That's twice now that they've done that to her. She's not gonna win album of the year as long as they have that racist genre. Every year that she has to go up against Taylor Swift or Adele, one of the two of them are gonna win because they're white, because they're fucking white, period. And the Grammys are racist. And all of this, again, is just more examples of how much we love black culture, and we love Lemonade and, you know, girl power and empowerment, and we're gonna emulate everything Beyonce does, and we're gonna, you know, we're gonna use all her words on our protest slogans and blah blah blah. But like, we're not gonna reward her for her work because we love black culture, but we don't love black bodies. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, we still are not here for this radical politicized black woman shit. Like, no, we would still prefer it from this white face or from this nice, safe, non-black POC face in the form of Bruno Mars. And people always like to say, oh, well, if you don't like Bruno Mars, you can only get mad at other black people because Bruno Mars is the only one in the funk genre. No, Blood Orange comes to mind immediately. Fucking Dev Hynes, as somebody that's also making... Now, I don't like Blood Orange's music because to me, it sounds like 80s porno music. I also don't like Bruno Mars's music for that same exact reason. But you have Blood Orange, Dev Hynes. You have fucking Miguel, who I absolutely love. And I saw people on Twitter talk about oh, Bruno Mars just killed this Prince tribute. He's #1 on the list of people to do Prince tributes. I was like, oh, y'all have already forgotten about Miguel for real? Because Miguel makes amazing music, kind of funk, pop, R&B. Like, he is firmly in Prince's lane. He loves Prince. He loves Prince so much that he refuses to do tributes because he feels like there's only one Prince. And Miguel does not get his recognition. Miguel has been robbed for a couple of motherfucking Grammys because his albums are fucking amazing. Like, there are lots of fucking black artists that are out here making R&B, making how many did I just name in this video? Fucking Jasmine Sullivan, fucking Don Richards, Theophilus London, Luke James, again, Miguel, you know, Blood Orange. You have black artists that are out here fucking doing it that are not gonna get not even 1/10 of the recognition and the awards that an Adele gonna get, that a Bruno Mars gonna get, because they're black, because they are fucking black, right? That is what it's about, period. So I'm gonna continue my skipping award show season. The only award show that I'm probably gonna watch is the Oscars, just because I want to see if Moonlight's gonna win, or Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures, Fences, and Moonlight have all been nominated. Suicide Squad has also been nominated for Best Hair and Makeup, which they would not show on TV, but it's just so petty of me because the boring and bougie on the internet were like, oh, Suicide Squad, aka Hot Topic, the movie, oh my god, the hair and the makeup are so bad. But now they've been nominated, so just like the petty in me delights in that because I love Suicide Squad. And I haven't forgotten that I need to make a Suicide Squad review. I haven't bought the extended cut yet, and I don't want to make the video till I've seen the extended cut, but I'm gonna review Suicide Squad and explain why I liked it so much. But yeah, I'm probably gonna watch the Oscars. I'm probably gonna watch the BET Awards. Someone asked me if I'm gonna watch the NAACP Awards. I'll probably watch like the black stuff I'm gonna watch, and I might tune into the Oscars, we'll see. But I did not watch the Grammys, and I feel like I was totally, completely vindicated and justified in that. So, car video on the Grammys. This one's on the longer side. February, we're halfway through February, so see you guys later with another Hidden Figures video. Food for thought as always. Make sure you check the description box for links and other videos. Peace. Hey guys, really quick, out of my car in front of the pantry, I just wanted to also add really quickly that you also have people that are saying like, oh well, you know, Adele shouted out Beyonce. She said like, oh, like what does Beyonce have to do to like get an Album of the Year award? And that Bruno Mars was like very like open and vocal about like where his inspiration came from. And it's like, number one, Bruno Mars just started being open about that within like the last few months. He was very deliberately like racially ambiguous like previous to this. And number two, I'm tired of giving out awareness cookies for these quote unquote allies. Either you are publicly saying, calling out, this is racist, I'm benefiting from the fact that I'm white, I'm benefiting from anti-blackness, you know, or you're not doing anything. It's 2017, we have an orange Cheeto for president. No more awareness cookies. You have to be more than aware with your privilege. That's just how I feel.